Leonardo DiCaprio. He's been around for decades now, and he is truly the golden boy of Hollywood. DiCaprio has become one of the most popular figures in entertainment, largely due to his incredible acting talent and his ability to embody a wide range of character roles. He embodies them with authenticity and class, and he's truly a beloved figure. But even though he stars in some of the biggest movies, he's kept the cards pretty close to his chest as it pertains to his private life. But that's why we're here. We did some digging and some research, and so today, we're presenting you with an exclusive look into the everyday life of Leonardo DiCaprio. So for all this and more, stay tuned right here at Wonderlane. What's your favorite DiCaprio role? Is it Titanic? It's Titanic, isn't it? Let's start with a typical morning for Leo. The day usually starts at his house in Los Feliz, a small neighborhood outside of Hollywood. DiCaprio bought the property a year or two ago from his friend and musician Moby. The $4.9 million mansion was built in 1926, but DiCaprio recently had the building completely renovated, and now has a yoga room, a huge living room, and a pretty sick garden pool. DiCaprio owns other properties, which we'll get to later, but the house in Los Feliz is his main residence. DiCaprio has the privilege of waking up next to his 22-year-old girlfriend, Camila Morrone. She's a model from Argentina, and they've been dating for a couple years now. The 23-year age gap between Leo and Camila has raised some eyebrows, but the two don't seem to be bothered by criticism from the public. Camila recently declared that she doesn't care at all. Everyone should love whoever they want. After the couple wakes up, they have breakfast prepared by DiCaprio's personal chef, Jonah Johnson. A typical morning offers a full buffet of fresh fruit, cereal, bread, and coffee. Sometimes they like to go out for breakfast in Los Angeles, but never without camouflage. Due to Leo's immense fame, he's always sporting a baseball cap, hoodie, and some shades. Being one of the greatest actors of our time kind of keeps him from being able to blend in with a crowd. You gotta take the good with the bad, I guess. Leo is commonly seen blocking his face with his hands in public, and he never stays out for too long before dipping back into his limo, his Porsche Cayenne, Tesla Model S, or his Volvo hybrid SUV. Moving on through the day here, it's time for work. As an actor, DiCaprio heads straight to the film set after breakfast. Although the 45-year-old is known for many different roles, DiCaprio only accepts the best offers, which means that he really never appears in more than one film in one calendar year. It's very important to him to know the character he is supposed to embody inside and out. And so he spends a lot of time getting into the person's shoes. According to director Martin Scorsese, when Leo played Jordan Belfort in The Wolf of Wall Street, he spent hundreds of hours with the real Jordan Belfort, just taking in his lifestyle and personality. The extent to which DiCaprio immerses himself in his work is also put on display more recently, via the Tarantino film Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. In order to stay completely immersed in his character, he asked the film crew not to make eye contact with him so that he would feel mysterious and aloof instead of feeling like the big man on set. A friend recently described DiCaprio as one of the hardest working actors in all of Hollywood. He makes it look so easy, she explained, yet he puts in thousands of hours of work to capture his character so perfectly. Leonardo DiCaprio has managed to remain successful in an era that makes it difficult for an actor to do so. With the free flow of information via social media and the vast increase in volume of movies being produced, it is increasingly rare to have a figure like DiCaprio who's really never flopped, given a bad performance, or taken a role in a terrible movie. DiCaprio is also something of an environmental activist. He's very concerned with the issue of climate change, and in the early 90s he started his own foundation which has supported more than 50 different environmentalist projects. In recent years, he's participated in public protests, and he shot the documentary film Before the Flood, in which he talks with politicians and celebrities alike about climate change. When he finally won an Oscar in 2016, he utilized the platform to talk about the gigantic threat posed onto the Earth by climate change. He also uses his incredibly vast reach on social media almost exclusively to preach about environmentalism. It's an issue that seems to keep him up at night, and he has referred to it as the greatest threat of our time. His personal life, however, reveals a smidge of hypocrisy as he owns a fleet of gas-guzzling SUVs, a private jet, and a super yacht that probably does a fair amount of polluting in its own right. He did pretty much give up meat though. Since he produced the vegan documentary Cowspiracy, he's been completely abstaining from eating beef, and he's also instructed his chef to exclusively source regional foods. His favorite foods include spaghetti bologna and the Beyond Meat burger, a meatless burger that DiCaprio was so excited about that he invested a lot of money into the company behind it. His all-time favorite dish is pupusa, a tortilla that has bean mousse and cheese baked into it. He also enjoys eating out. His favorite restaurants include an Italian restaurant in New York City, as well as a vegan restaurant opened by musician and friend Moby. After DiCaprio has his meat-free lunch, he does a number of different things in the afternoon. As long as he doesn't have any professional appointments, one of his favorite activities is visiting museums and exhibitions. The actor frequents art galleries with friends or with Camilla. DiCaprio's father, George, worked as a draftsman, so Leonardo gained an interest in art early on, and he's invested several $1 million into his own collection of paintings. He's purchased works by Frank Stella, Takashi Murakami, and John Pierre Roy at auction, each of which had price tags in the six figures. DiCaprio also loves music, more specifically pop and rap music. He goes to Coachella almost every year, and he's been seen at the festival dancing with the regular attendees in the crowd. He's always incognito mode, of course, with the hat and glasses, but some spectators were able to recognize him and catch some of his dance moves on video. Leo appears to have a very fun and not so sober time at Coachella, and he's been seen wrestling with a professional athlete and flirting with supermodels in the VIP lounge at the festival. Aside from music festivals and museums, DiCaprio also likes to go to basketball games, and he has VIP season tickets to the Los Angeles Lakers. Let's briefly step away from an average day in the life and take a look at how Leo typically vacations. He flies to Dubai, Thailand, and Italy and regularly charters the $500 million super yacht Topaz, the fifth most expensive yacht in the world. When he was single, DiCaprio usually took a handful of models with him on his vacations, but now he travels mainly with his girlfriend Camilla and good friends of his such as Great Gatsby co-star and the greatest actor to ever portray Spider-Man, Tobey Maguire. DiCaprio has answered the question of why an environmental activist has to stoop to vacationing on a luxury yacht by explaining that it's the only place where he can enjoy complete privacy and still be at sea. Even on foreign beaches, the actor can't walk around freely without being recognized immediately. He does, however, have another private retreat, and that is his own private island. Blacador Cay, which is a little over 2 miles long, is located just off the coast of Guatemala in Central America and currently consists only of untamed nature. DiCaprio is currently planning to build a large resort on Blacador Cay and construct 36 individual buildings. However, the hotel complex, as well as the plots of land, are to be constructed in such a way that they can be inhabited in a climate-neutral manner. DiCaprio has stated that after construction, the island will be a pioneering example of environmentally friendly travel in tropical areas. So back to a typical day in the life of Leonardo DiCaprio. Let's look into how the actor spends his evenings. When there are no galas or award ceremonies to attend, DiCaprio prefers to end the day at his beach house in Malibu. He frequently hosts extravagant parties there, to which various celebrity guests such as actor Gerard Butler, Jamie Foxx, and entrepreneur Elon Musk have been invited. On a private section of the beach, they play volleyball together, drink, and dance. Sometimes, however, he lets his evenings end on a quieter note and goes out drinking wine with friends or even stays home with his dime piece of a girlfriend. Now let's kind of wrap things up with a pretty killer fun fact about DiCaprio's sex life. According to a handful of very unsatisfied former lovers, DiCaprio vapes and listens to MGMT with headphones during sex. And that's absurd. Like, dude, get a Bluetooth speaker or something. What Camilla thinks of this is unclear, but if he pulls that with her again, then I will swoop in. Camilla, if you're listening, I ask Alexa to play Careless Whisper and smoke cigs after sex like a man. That's going to do it for our video on a typical day in the life of Hollywood superstar Leonardo DiCaprio. What would you do if you could live as DiCaprio for one day? Would you vape with headphones on during sex? Be sure to let us know in the comments, and if you enjoyed this video, be sure to like and subscribe to Wonderlane for more videos like this every week.